Hi guys, welcome to Macchine Notizie channel. It's an Italian channel, but today I will share with you how to use the crypto.com exchange API. There are API that permits to obtain data of the exchange informations and to call some REST and WebSocket API to make orders and get our data uh, from the exchange. With this, you can automate a lot of operations, such check for prices, warn you when a price is above on or less than a value you want, or maybe you can automate sell and buy and trading of the crypto. There is a page with the introduction of the Exchange API. I will show you how to use the Python API. There are two kind of API, the REST one and the WebSocket. We will use the REST call. Documentation give example of JavaScript, Python, C# and Java programming languages, but it can be a bit hard to understand how to use these calls, so I smash my head on the wall to understand something, but now I'm able to call the Exchange API, so I'm making this video to show you how to use the API. First of all, there are two versions of the API, version 1 and version 2. We are using version 2 and we are using a Python languages. I'm using Python 3.8 on Windows 10, but Python is a cross-platform language, so this code will work on every operative system. So first of all, in order to use the API, you must go to security panel, activate two-factor authentication, and then going to API keys. Here you can create a new API key. You will obtain a API key and a secret key. You must store it because when you created the first time, you cannot obtain the information anymore. So anyway, you can create another API key, but you must store the secret key information when you create it. So there are two main type of call: the public call that don't need API keys and the private one that need API keys. In this video, I will show you an example of both using Python. So first of all, I cannot show you my keys, so I created a file called keys.json. This is an example of the JSON. Here you must put your API key, and here you must put the secret key, and you store in case.json, for example, because this key, as I said before, must be used to make private call. The private call is related to your account. For example, you can get the history of the order, you can place an order. And in this tutorial, we will use two calls. One is for obtain the candle or the prices. So this I want to obtain Ethereum versus dollar candles of prices with a time frame of 5 minutes. Okay, and with another call I can obtain information about my orders. When you understand how those two type of calls works, you can make all the calls you want. We will start with the public one. Okay, we must store this one, the base URL to start making calls. So base URL, we put this. Okay, we need to open keys.json, grabbing API keys and secret keys. So okay, I created three variables: base URL, API key, and secret key, and now we have to load the JSON file obtaining the information stored in the JSON file. So with open keys.json as keys, we can do json.load, loading a file, keys. This is the information, so Python will load the information stored in the key.json file, and now we can say API keys is equal to information square bracket API keys and the secret key Okay, now if we run our code, it should work. Okay, file can be read. Okay, we will open the documentation API, a common API reference. In the bottom side of the left column you have public APIs and private APIs. The first public APIs authentication is used only if we are going to develop calls using WebSocket, but this is not our cases. So for example, I want to implement public get candlestick. This is an example. You have the base URL / get candlestick question mark instrument name equal to the crypto versus what you are searching for information about the last candle, and the time frame. Okay, here you can see there is something wrong in the documentation because the parameter name is time frame, but here the example talk about period, but you can understand it can work. So we will implement def get candlestick instrument name period. We have to make a get rest call because all the public calls needs a get rest call, so we need import request. Maybe request library is not installed in your system. You can make a file called requirements.txt. Here you can put the library, and the PyCharm will search for requirement, or even you can launch pip install -r requirement.txt to install all the required library. But request is a library very common installed in a developer in a Python developer machine. So with request we can make something like informations is equal to requests.get the base URL plus the call is get public get candlestick. I will take all these pieces of code. Good. Here I can put a concatenation of string with my instrument name and time frame with period, or also it's better to call time frame. Very good. This will, we can stop here to see what information are storing. Calling the call get candlestick. I want Ethereum versus dollars, and the second parameter is the time frame 5 minutes. Okay, then this information will be a JSON string, so information can be informations.text, but it's a JSON string, so we want a dictionary. JSON.loads of these, and maybe we want to return the last one. Information square brackets -1 is to obtain the latest candlestick available in the exchange. So for example, candlestick, okay, with this one we can obtain the latest candlestick and maybe we can morph the Unix timestamp. So running these, oops, there is some errors. Oh sure, information is not the array with the data, there are some other properties inside. We can debug tutorial video here, because information results data. Okay, this one we want result and we want data. Okay, so now when I run this code, I obtain information about this Unix timestamp, and there are the values, the opening values, the highest values, the lowest values, the close values, and the volume. I don't understand what volume is, but this is an example of public calls. Now instead we will make an example of a private calls. For a private calls, for example, def get order history. It's a bit more complicated. Maybe we will to start with this example. Okay, here request format maybe. Okay, we need all these libraries. We simply put there. Okay, JSONs are already imported, requests are already imported. Here there is another issue in the documentation, because requests is in the documentation they are putting sig properties in request object, but request object doesn't exist because it is rec object. Anyway, we can fix it easily. Okay, taking ordering one and putting there Now I will explain what is going on. Here is a record. Okay, so in order to call, and here there is a semicolon, not necessary in Python languages. I think there are some copy-paste errors starting from JavaScript and porting to Python code. Okay, we will use get order history. There are some parameters. No one of these parameters is required, but if you want, you can put parameters in this way to specify some informations. We don't need this, but we want to try get order history. API key is read in the JSON keys file. I will remove all information from params because I want to grab all my order history. And what's going now? So in order to make the request, we must to create a signature object. This signature object is already created in the documentation. So order history is requests that post, because this one is post request method, REST method post. Okay, the URL is the base URL plus private slash get order history. Okay, the information to be passed is a JSON representation of a requirement, and then there are some headers to be attached. Content type, application.json. Okay, so the request object will morph in a JSON representation, and the request will contain ID, a method, API key, parameter, a timestamp, and a signature. Maybe we will stop here in the I cannot stop here in the debug mode because you will see my keys, but we can return order history, and now I can my order history, call this get order history. My order history, we can take a look here. Okay, I obtained my order history. Okay, we can take a look to the answer. Okay, I obtained my order history with response 200, so it will work, but is text it working? So we will morph to a dictionary loads. Okay, this is not a very good programming implementation, but the target of this video is to show you how to use the API and not to teach you how to develop in Python programming languages. So I'm taking some shortcut to reach the result. But now you can see we can run my order history, and this will work. Give me the history of my order, I sell 0.75 unit of CRO, okay, type market, CRO versus dollar at average prices. I have all the information related to my order history. So this is an example of a private call, and this is an example of a public call. I hope this tutorial can help you developing some other useful software integrating with the crypto.com exchange. Sorry for my poor English. I make this video also for training myself. Please feel free to put some comment in the comment box. If you like this video, join the channel. My channel contains often and a high quantity of Italian video, but I don't find any information or any tutorials for the use of crypto.com exchange API, so I think to make this one, and I hope it can help you developing something. Okay, thanks for your interest, thanks for your time, and have a nice day. Bye bye.